If you're living paycheck to paycheck, the idea of building an emergency fund can feel almost insulting. Like, with what money? Every dollar already has a job. Every paycheck already disappears. So, when someone says, you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved, it can feel unrealistic. In this video, I'm not going to give you fantasy math. I'm going to show you how to start building an emergency fund even when money feels tight. And why starting small still changes everything. Hi, my name is Hank. I didn't start investing seriously until I was 40, and I've had seasons where money was tight enough that stability mattered more than growth. So when I talk about building foundations first, it's not theory. It's from experience. I've learned that steady and stable beats fast and fragile every time. Here are the core ideas. Stability comes first. You start small, you protect what you save, and you build it in layers. This isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about building a foundation that can withstand a storm. Remember, small and automatic always beats big and inconsistent. That tiny regular deposit is what builds real security over time. If you're ready for more calm, practical financial guidance, subscribe to receive my weekly videos. First, let's say this out loud, because it's a truth that needs to be heard more often. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not alone. And it does not mean that you are bad with money. Sometimes it's an income problem, where your hard work just doesn't stretch far enough. Sometimes it's the weight of past mistakes that you're still working to overcome. And sometimes it's just that modern life is incredibly expensive. Often, it's a combination of all of the above. There was a season in my life where I didn't have an emergency fund at all. Not a single dollar set aside. And I remember how every unexpected expense, no matter how small, felt bigger than it actually was, like a potential catastrophe. That constant stress is exhausting, but acknowledging this reality is the first step toward changing it. It wasn't just the money, it was the stress. A car repair didn't just mean fixing a car, it meant juggling bills, moving things around, hoping nothing else broke that month. And when you live like that long enough, it starts to wear on you. You feel behind. You feel like you should know better. You start second-guessing yourself. What I learned the hard way is this. It wasn't investing that would have helped me in that season. It was stability. Even a small buffer would have changed how those moments felt, and that's why I talk about this so much. Not because it's exciting, but because I know what it feels like without it. But the goal isn't to shame yourself into saving. The goal is to create just enough breathing room that life stops knocking you backwards every time something goes wrong. And that starts smaller than most people think. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, 3 to 6 months of expenses isn't your first goal. That number is overwhelming. Your first goal is simple: $500 to $1,000. That's it, because that amount covers most of life's small emergencies. A car repair, an unexpected bill, a deductible, broken appliance. When you hit that first $500, something shifts. You're not ahead yet, but you're not one flat tire away from panic. That emotional shift matters. The next thing we need to do is look for leaks. No, I'm not talking about leaks in your water lines or plumbing. I'm talking about those small, almost invisible leaks that happen in our finances. The little drips of money that quietly drain our accounts without us even noticing. This step is about becoming a detective of your own spending. So, take a moment and ask yourself, where is money leaking without genuinely improving my life? It could be streaming services you don't use, or subscriptions you completely forgot about. Maybe it's convenience spending when you're tired and just want an easy solution, or those small, frequent impulse purchases that add up. The goal here isn't to slash your lifestyle or deprive yourself of joy. It's about mindfully redirecting small amounts consistently. Once you find a leak, you can patch it. Even just $25 a week is $100 a month. In just 5 months, that's your first $500. This is about steady, automatic progress, not dramatic, unsustainable changes. Small and automatic always beats big and inconsistent. Living paycheck to paycheck means decision fatigue is real. So don't rely on motivation. Set up an automatic transfer, even if it's just $20 a paycheck. Tiny and automatic beats big and inconsistent every time. You're building the habit first. The balance grows second. Your emergency fund is not vacation money, Christmas money, or upgrade money. It is only for the unexpected, the necessary, and the unplanned. If you dip into it for non-emergencies, it never grows. And if you use it for a real emergency, you don't have to feel guilty. You just rebuild. That's the system working. Once you hit $500 to $1,000, then you level up. Now you work toward 1 month of essential expenses. Not lifestyle, not comfort, essentials. Then 2 months, then 3. You build it in layers. People get discouraged because they stare at the top of the mountain. Just climb the next step. Here's what really changes. When you're living paycheck to paycheck without savings, every bill feels like a threat. But with even $500 saved, you breathe differently. You make decisions differently. You don't panic, swipe a credit card. You start feeling capable instead of trapped. And that confidence is what eventually helps you move beyond paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes budgeting isn't the problem. Income is. And if you've trimmed and automated and it's still tight, then the emergency fund goal becomes even more important because it gives you space to make income moves without desperation. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not stuck forever. But the way out isn't dramatic investing strategies. It's savings. Start small. Protect it. Build in layers. Stability first, growth second. That's how you stop feeling fragile and start feeling in control. If this video helped you feel a little more grounded about money, consider subscribing. This channel is about calm, practical personal finance, especially if you feel behind and want to build things the right way.